these two franchises. It's grown around the globe, and the Classico. And those in blue, you mentioned, 11 days ago, they've lost their last 3 on the bounce. Have MINY New York. Haven't won a match here in Dallas yet. The boys in blue, and their only win came against the Orcas, and that was ages ago. So Faf du Plessis is out in the middle as usual, because he just cannot win a coin toss, and he's always batting. So du Plessis and Smith Patel is his partner. These two are desperate to get things amping and happening in a positive vein inside the paddle. I just don't think it's a bad toss to lose in a way, because Faf du mentioned this has been played on a bit. It's a bit tired, a little bit slow. I think it's just a little too dry for my liking, the 22 yards. So if they can get a half-decent score, if they could post 160 minimum, we saw that the other night, 160 is around there. And they've got a very useful bowling lineup to those in yellow. And you think about Noor Ahmed, Akil Hussain, pace off, Savage with his bag of tricks, Nandare Burger, pace and pace off. Very useful. So I'm looking forward to this, Natalie.
12th match in 10 days at this venue. They've used 2 pitches. There we go with Bolt. Cooked away into the gap. Nicely done on the boundary. And a couple of runs as they are away now. Yeah. Despite there being a lot of games being played at this ground, they've still seen high scores. Average first innings scored 202. And also, there's been teams very successful chasing, in particular under lights. We've seen that happen a few times. Comes a little easier to chase. And the stumps is Bolt. Well, we've seen an unchanged side for TSK. They've decided to stay with the same team that got them a win in the previous one, which means we'll see Akil Hussain with Noor Ahmed together. Spinners should come into play, and maybe even some of Donovan Ferreira from a spinning perspective. And MINY New York have made one change. George Linder comes into the side, and he's a very handy cricketer for a lot of reasons. One, we talk about the spinning option. He gives you that extra one, the left arm finger spin, and also he is a very good batter, very good middle order to lower order finisher.
Yeah, strikes a long one, doesn't he? Yeah, I was just looking at those notes. You think about yesterday, you mentioned there, now the night certainly is chasing. That day game, that 169, let's call it 170, was enough from the freedom, posting that against the Unicorns. But yeah, this is the night game. But also, yeah, the spin factor, I think, of those in yellow, serious.
It's quick from Bolt, remarkably speedy delivery, 85 miles per hour. He's picking up the pace at the moment.
He's deceptively quick at times, Bolt. Does possess the knuckleball, the off-cutter, just those good slower balls that just float at you. So a man going out, 2 men out of the 30-yard circle, both on the leg side. Deep backward square leg and a man at mid-wicket for the skipper on strike.
Not too surprised about that plan. He's had his troubles in the past against left-armers who can get the ball to come back in, but he didn't have troubles when he scored 100 here coming to this ground against the San Francisco Unicorns. It was a wonderful innings. It might have been in a losing cause, but it would have done in the world of good after he had struggled in San Francisco. Used the wind to great effect that day. It was very strong at the start of our games here. Three of the first over.
Hi, I'm I'm Rakesh Sharma, and I'm the owner of Silver Fund Senior Living, and there was a need for immediate cash, and I got the reference of Bistro Credit. Working with Bistro Credit was awesome. Going forward, I'll be definitely coming back to them.
Have the positive energy to achieve good health, happiness, success, and prosperity. When planetary movements are in your favor, you are unstoppable in achieving your dreams. Listen to your destiny and open the door to prosperity. Call me today for an amazing tomorrow.
You'll never miss a Desi moment with Desi Nacho, big or small. It's deliciously Desi, authentically Desi, always Desi. Find us at a store near you.
There's Texas Super Kings. We'll be hoping they're on a bit of a roll. Now, George Linder, no stranger to bowling with the new ball. So not too surprised that he's been tossed the ball straight away. He's part of the winning My Cape Town team who won the SA20 this year.
Yeah, Fuff with that 100. They couldn't breach 200 that night, and then he followed it up match 13 with a 69. So he's hot to trot as a skipper. Desperately need Faf du Plessis to get a big score. The cameras just sort of sorting them out. Smith Patel's not happy with that long off camera. It was just a little too straight for his liking.
Debut game for George Linder in Cognizant MLC. Has he got a wicket second ball? According to the umpire, yes he does. Smith Patel not reading that one at all.
Faf du Plessis says, mate, don't think you should review this at all. It looks salmon trout. Boys will say that is out. And straight down the middle, just skids on. Look at that, pitching in lines, pitched about middle, just smashing into middle as well. Maybe that outer side of middle. Yeah, it's an easy decision. You've got to get some wood on those, Smith Patel. He hasn't, and Georgie boy, he's over the moon. First game up. There you go. The tally up for 3, and the Super Kings lose their first at 3.
When my hair started thinning, I didn't want to hear the wisecracks.
I was ignoring my hair because I was a full-time working mother, but luckily I found Nutrafol.
My hair was getting stronger and thicker.
And I finally feel like myself again.
With new McValue at McDonald's, you'll get more than you expect. Like buy a double cheeseburger and add chicken McNuggets for $1. Because after studying hard for your exam, finding a good deal on lunch should be easy. Get more than you expect with new McValue.
Saiteja Makumila, who had some good scores in San Francisco, 31, 30, 38. Then just struggled a bit here in Dallas, a 6 and a 9. In fact, he made a 38 in the first game here. Apologies for that. So started okay at this ground. Just the last couple of innings, 6 and a 9. Would love to make good on this opportunity because he's got a lot of overs now ahead of him coming in so early.
Players will always tell you, you haven't been in the side, you haven't played for a while, this is what you want. You want to get one fairly straight on the poles. Christmas red is lit up early. Yeah, Fuff says, Smith, don't bother, son, unless you hit it.
Yeah, umpire Vijay Malela will be hoping all the decisions are that easy today. It's been a quiet start so far. So maybe just trying to get a measure of the surface if they can, see how it's playing.
Yeah, fair call, Nat. I just think that's the way to go, given that this pitch has been used quite extensively and it is dry. Saw the puffs of dust yesterday. The spinners are on. Yeah, see, the spinners have dined out a bit more there. More wickets, better economy and everything.
Just a nice little chip over the top. Lovely. Very well played. With a little bit of pressure on TSK, that's nicely done. It's 9 for 1.
Yeah, whistles and flags to the fore. So Mukamala. It's his go-to area. He's a classical sort of player too. It's easy on the eye. And that'll feel good.
Faf du Plessis looking to put on a partnership with Mukamala. Smith Patel gone early. Just had 1 over from George Linder on debut, went for 6 runs. He's been very economical this year in T20s. George Linder, economy rates of just under 6.5. Certainly his best year in T20s in games in years where he's played 10 matches. Interesting, Trent Boult only bowling the 1 over, which went for 3, and they've gone straight to Ishara Deal.
He's sort of done it a bit, isn't he, Nicholas Pora? This season, unless you get a wicket, of course, get a wicket early, but it doesn't necessarily mean you will get another bowl, depending on who's come out to bat and who's facing him. This fellow, he's a talent, gets going, very pleasant to watch. And tying Faf up, nice and straight, on off stump. And a lot of us have been out there and had a good look at the surface. I mentioned dry. I know that we go to Florida and we come back here, but it's interesting. Only 2 pitches used. I really thought we could have had at least 3, given the amount of games that are on. There's a dozen games here. So, yeah, only the 2 strips used for this leg.
Really bowl that line with this field because you've got a square leg out and fine legs up. It's just too easy for Faf du Plessis.
Yeah, particularly with Faf's grip. A very unique grip of Faf du Plessis. His hands quite far apart. And look at that bottom out, look at that whip around the corner. So known for this over the years. Very good indeed. Got the line. No, no, no. Yeah, well, he got that other one he whipped away for 4, and this one I reckon Faf was looking for 6, just to get right under it, pump it. Our Royal leading run scorers. Hello, chaps. Good to see you, Fenelon. Mitch Owen didn't get any runs. He got a gold duck, didn't he? And then he got a 5 for 17. How the game can change. Mike Rattel. They're all starting to try and catch up to Fenelon.
Use to the feet by Faf du Plessis. Wonderful manipulation, being able to hit this ball straight.
Once again, there's a straight one. They're gorgeous. And Kyron Pollard was just a spectator there. Oh, as clean as you like.
Nice and early on, an NTT6 for TSK. Very happy to go over the top at the moment, Faf du Plessis, and it's working a treat. 16 off the over, 25 for 1.
Technology offers the knowledge of equanimity and a harmonious way of living. Embrace the positive energy the universe ensures for you. Always trust that you deserve a fulfilling and a joyous life. Call me today and get to know the path of success waiting for you.
You're a small business owner. You don't have time to waste. That's why you go to Biz2 Credit for funding. Our simple application makes it easy to get fast financing. Time for funding?
Time for Biz2 Credit.
We will see more of George Linder. We had one over of Bolt, one over of Ihsan Ideal, which went for 16. And it was interesting to make that change and take Bolt off straight away because his first over went for 3, and then they decided to go to Ihsan Ideal.
Do love it when Faf gets the dancing shoes on. Got the blue suede shoes on here in Texas. Caning it too. Says Ihsan, you can't bowl Ihsan.
He is in a 6-hitting mood at the moment. That is 3 already, and he's just faced 10 deliveries.
Well, he has had a good look. Mentioning just moments ago, just taking the time, just assessing in the first 2 overs. In the third one, he went for 16, and already the bowler is under the pump here, and the second delivery goes for the maximum. And we've got another NTT maxi. Come on, Georgie boy, what have you got?
That's a good reply by George Linder. Need the fielding just to be that little bit better as well. It's going to be very important. We've seen teams struggle when their fielding hasn't been up to the standard that they want. We've seen catches dropped, and they've been expensive at times in this tournament. Likes of Shimon Hetmeyer, for example, in that heroic win, the first win for the Seattle Walkers. He was dropped on nice and early in his innings on 22. MINY are going to have to find another plan to Faf du Plessis. The one right now is not working.
Got a wicket in his first. Nicholas Coran thought, yeah, we're going to have to keep him on. There's the positivity and the skill set to come down like this in evidence from Faf.
Here's a little bit of interesting trivia for you, Danny. Faf du Plessis in T20s has never hit a 4 against George Linder, but he has hit 6 sixes.
I'll take that every night of the week. Oh, George is going to try and get out of this over now. 1 to go, 15 off.
It'll be 16 from that over from George Linder. Faf du Plessis is away. It's 41 for 1.
Yeah, a couple of good overs back-to-back there. Overs 3 and 4 have disappeared. So they were going in the first 2 overs only at 4.5. Now they're going at 10 1/4. Flick the switch as Faf.
Outstanding crowd. It's going to increase the chances of moments like this. Shuffle down the track, gets a good piece of it. Now, how about you, sir? Oh, yes. What a beauty. The very tips of the left hand and a gigantic star jump as a celebration. Go on, sir. Give us a smile to go with it. Brilliant crowd catch, that one. What a grab. Trent Bolt going to return for his second over. More of the same from Faf du Plessis. Fabulous stuff from him. throughout the season. He's got the crowd going, a capacity crowd tonight.
Years and years of experience, Faf du Plessis, and no lesson as far as skill is concerned, has become a master at the top of the order of utilizing the field restrictions, clearing the boundary as well as that 30-meter circle. Even against a past master like Trent Bolt, he is able to be effective. What a start this is for the Super Kings.
Phenomenal acceleration, 5.6s there, all coming in the span of just 9 deliveries. Really, really good acceleration that was needed after a cautious start.
I was just going to speak about that, actually. The fact that the first sort of 6, 8, 10 balls were about assessment of conditions. The expectation would be that it would spin, that the spinners would get some turn from the surface because of how many times it's been used. What's to check for du Plessis and for Mukamala is how much it does and the pace of it.
Well, looking too easy right now for Faf du Plessis. It's raining sixes in Texas. Look out up at our camera gantry too. Go, Captain Faf, go.
Yeah, brilliant. Like a gunslinger. He is well on his way. Slower deliveries, faster deliveries, doesn't matter. He's able to go through with it, a little skip just to adjust for the slowness, and picked it. And guess what? Another NTT Data 6 going 295 feet.
Now a bit of fortune will fly to the rope. You earn your fortune with the aggression with which you play with. Du Plessis moves to 48.
Yeah, trying to change it up, change the angle. Probably just a little too wide. It's not missed by a long way. And at the beginning of the game, with the fielding restrictions in place, you don't have to. Yeah, decent bumper. Nope, it's wide, they say. Yeah, both the umps have just gone, nope, sorry. You have to reload that one. He's not happy about it, Trent Bolt, and you can understand why. Compounded by the fact that the ball is going to all parts. Let's have a look. Oh, I think it's harsh. I thought it was a good bumper first up, actually, and then looking at the replay, I'm even more convinced.
Yeah, very marginal, to say the least.
And you don't need it when you're going around the park. You never need it. You need calls to go your way. But such is life. When it's marginal like that, on a day where you're bowling well, you get it. On a day where it's not going your way, they tend not to.
They've got a 55-run partnership. Saiteja Mukamala's got 6 of them. Got a marvellous record at this venue, Faf du Plessis. Very much his American home here. Loves it in Texas. Shuffled into the leg side. Won't get back for the second.
Yeah, Nicholas Puran will be scratching his head, trying to work out, okay, what do I do? Important for Bolt to get out of the over here. Single there. Needs minimum damage off this final one. Who does he go to next, though? That's the question. Yep, it's making sure of the field. And perhaps even indicating to somebody that you're up next over. It's about getting out of this power play with minimum damage.
Protection out there, nicely flicked by Mukamala. Will end the 5th at 60 for 1.
As a business owner, I've got a lot on my plate. That's why I use ZipRecruiter to hire. ZipRecruiter has this feature called Zip Intro. I chose the time and it did all of the work of finding and scheduling the candidates for me. I just picked my top choices and talked to great people the very next day. The plan was to hire 2 people, but the candidate quality was so good, I wound up hiring 4 in a week.
Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Try it free only at ZipRecruiter.com/Willow.
Yeah, remarkable start really. 9 for 1 after 2 overs, and then 3 overs later, they've plundered 51 runs from the 3 of them, moved to 60. It's a continuing problem, isn't it, Pommy, for MI New York? The worst bowling economy in this 3rd season of Cognizant MLC by quite a distance. They're averaging 35 runs per wicket. They're going around the park at 10.35 per over. And here's the youngster, born in St. Louis, day shy of his 22nd birthday. I heard from him in the pre-game build-up how much he's enjoying every single moment of this MLC. Got the big wicket of Heinrich Klaassen and also had Shimron Hetmeyer dropped. Now, if that had been held, no doubt MI New York would have won that game. They give a real challenge now bowling to Faf du Plessis, who's on a hot streak.
Yeah, so all this good work, 61 for 1. I said before, you want to just make sure you hold on if you're at MI New York, try and stay in the game, not too much damage, and you kind of try and work out what's acceptable as a run rate in the first 6.
50 for Faf du Plessis. It's his 89th 50-plus score in T20 cricket. He's simply an icon of our sport across multiple formats, but particularly in recent years in T20 cricket. They love him here in Texas. Captain Fantastic, Faf du Plessis.
50 of 21 is a great start. Yeah, he's done decently in the season. Each time he's got 50, though, they haven't won.
Clever cricket he's played for this Saiteja Mukamala. I love the fact they've stuck with him because he's had a couple of low scores his last 2 knocks, just 6 and 9. He's a talented young player.
Yeah, a little bit of bounce. Length allowing for him to work the ball over a short third. And it illustrates an awareness of where the field is. Good skills, good wrists. Also played a shot over the top, over the offside of George Linder, manipulating it to go over the offside.
Good diving stop, but they'll get through for the single. Yeah, the benefit of the exposure for the likes of LAKR and Mukamala. It's not just on the pitch, is it? It's off the pitch, spending time in and around the hotels with the likes of Faf du Plessis, getting to bat with them then in the middle. The learnings for young American cricketers exceptional.
Big delivery, this one. Get out of the over.
Good over. It does get them out of the power play. Du Plessis thinks it's kept a little low. Gets us to the end of the Lexus power play. It will also bring us to the strategic timeout. It's 67 for 1.
Relationship with fitness was not at a point where I could just jump into working out.
At Body, we know what it's like to be a beginner. So here's a simple way to take the first step and every step on your journey to healthy. The Total Solution Bundle. Proven body fitness and eating plans you do right at home, plus Shakeology all-in-one nutrition shake to help you lose weight. It's everything you need to get fast results step by step. Save 60% when you go to body.com today. That's body with an I.com.
Business intuition. What if it could be engineered into every part of your business? Imagine if banks could listen for telltale signs of fraud. Drug production could sniff out impurities. Cars could feel when your plans change. At Cognizant, we use technology to engineer businesses to do what others can't. Anticipate expectations and act instantly, as if on intuition.
As a business owner, I've got a lot on my plate. That's why I use ZipRecruiter to hire. ZipRecruiter has this feature called Zip Intro. I chose the time, and it did all of the work of finding and scheduling the candidates for me. I just picked my top choices and talked to great people the very next day. The plan was to hire 2 people, but the candidate quality was so good, I wound up hiring 4 in a week.
Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Try it free only at ZipRecruiter.com/Willow.
It's the time for the batsman and the groundsman. It's the time for the many flavors of cricket and the many, many, many flavors it brings out in you. Royal, for the many flavors of you.
Instead, you want to harness that home crowd, allow them to get right on top of the opposition. I just wonder, will they target Sonny Patel a bit? Only bowled the 1 over in the last game, went for 15, was whipped out of the attack. But he'll come on now at the end of this Lexus power play. Look at some of the best of it, umpiring decisions. Well, they don't come any more pleasant or pleasing than that one. Going to go on and smash into middle stump, and then du Plessis started to take the aggressive route. Really good use of the feet in particular. As we'll come back live with you now. Do sense as though spin is going to play a big part tonight. I know Linda struck early in that over before he was then targeted by Faf du Plessis. Both sides have plenty of spin options.
It ought to, but the only way it does, and I suppose what you want as the bowling team, is that your spinners do well. All batters aware that it's being used another time this pitch, and so it's drier. A wonderful batting, a royal fantastic 50 by Faf du Plessis. And there's the use of the feet I'm talking about. There'll be quite a bit of that.
Nicely steered behind point, going to get 4. He's wonderful at manufacturing deliveries like that into vacant spaces. Many in American cricket comparing to Kane Williamson. That's a gorgeous stroke. Really good at manufacturing the ball into different areas. Talented young player. I think his frustration for the season, Pommy, will be the 330s that he's made. 3 times he's got in, looked very good, and hasn't kicked on from there. And they're in 3 consecutive games.
There's evidence of that use of the feet to try and dominate the spin, control things, be on top of them rather than let them dictate how things go. Just try and throw off these links on a pitch that we expect will turn just a bit.
Nine runs from Sonny Patel's first over. 7 have been bowled, 76 for 1 there.
You're a small business owner. You don't have time to waste. That's why you go to Biz2 Credit for funding. Our simple application makes it easy to get fast financing. Time for funding? It's time for Biz2 Credit.
Technology offers the knowledge of equanimity and a harmonious way of living. Embrace the positive energy the universe ensures for you. Always trust that you deserve a fulfilling and a joyous life. Call me today and get to know the path of success waiting for you.
You look at who takes the wickets, and if you're taking many of them generally, the economy will be that bit better. And it serves as a way to stop teams scoring. You get some who manage that even if they're not taking wickets because of the way they operate, sometimes because of the nature of pitches. But yeah, you don't want to be at the bottom of both of those where you're not taking wickets and you're going to all parts at a rather hefty economy rate.
Just finding LAKR a little difficult to get away. Going into the surface nicely. Plenty of action in the big car parks and lots there filling up. Organisers talking about a sellout, yellow versus blue. Lots of noise and atmosphere on show. Great to see cricket taking centre stage on a Sunday night right here in Texas. We talk about the struggles with the bowling, Pom. When you think about that game just a few nights ago where they made 237 against the Seattle Orcas, the winless Seattle Orcas, is there even maybe some complacency when they went out to defend that total record in the history of the league?
I don't think so, actually. I think just as they made 237, and think about struggling teams where pressure gets applied, and there's also the desperation for victory when things haven't gone particularly well. It also kind of serves to illustrate how close the teams are, and it's not a great deal that needs to go right in order for things to go their way. MI New York themselves, I feel, have kind of been just kind of a bit here and a bit there away from actually getting victory in all their games, just about. You'll hear it said, play the big moments well, win the big moments. And I think that's where they've kind of fallen down. And they could go out in each of the games that they can pick out scenarios. And yes, hindsight's 20/20, but they can pick out scenarios where if they'd gone just that bit better in that, they might well have then ended up winning the game.
You're spot on. And if you look at that net run rate, it's by far the best of the bottom three sides, even though they only won one game. And that absolutely indicates they've got very, very close to more than the one victory that they have. They're going to need more to get into the playoffs, so it's 81 for 1.
A definite slowness in the surface. Expect more slower balls from the faster bowlers, cutters and back of the hand. And the spin to certainly be utilized.
Healthy start for the Texas Super Kings. George Linder in tonight for his first game, and only one left hand in that Texas Super Kings lineup, so you understand why. But Faf du Plessis has yet again found confidence, and he's hit the ball very straight as well. I think with the wind factor here at Grand Prairie, smart option. And at times he's used his feet on a slower surface to get close to the ball as well. And Mukamala's been inspired, but not inspired enough, because he finds the deep mid-wicket fielder trying to take on the game and continue to attack. He perishes.
It's the value of George Linder in that he can bowl at pretty much any stage of the innings. He can bowl with a newer ball, he can bowl at this stage too. The middle phase, where spinners sometimes are about keeping the runs down, but the wickets are also important at this phase. It's broken a partnership that's brought 80 runs and almost a strike rate of 200, so it's a good time for a wicket. 25 for Mukamala, 83 for 2.
Stoinis. In at 4, he's as powerful as he looks. We know he can power the ball, we know his capabilities. The question will be when. Scott Faff at the other end. And it's Sateja Mukamala's 4th dismissal to spin.
George Linder just making sure that the ball didn't quite arrive to him. You can see he's sort of reaching for it. There wasn't as much control playing out in front of his body. It was a good partnership, though. Marcus Stoinis missed a few games, but his first game, he looked in good touch with the bat, hitting 4 sixes in that 28. But since then, he's played 3 innings and only 1 6. We're hoping that he finds some good form today.
2 extra covers catching in place just left of your screen, so Pooran is on the attack. Pooran and Patel stationed in that extra cover region where Stoinis likes to drive the ball early in his innings. Think about their bowling problems this season, they've lacked having someone other than Trent Bolt or Naveen who can break a partnership. In comes Linder, he's doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. The batters have been good. They've quite easily been scoring 180 plus. That hasn't been the problem. But when it comes to defending titles, they've really struggled with the ball, even with runs on the board. With the lineup of this Texas Super Kings side, with only Akil Hossain as the left-hander, what that means for Michael Bracewell and his usage as an off-spinner this evening. Yeah, because he's spoken quite a bit about this middle phase and how he enjoys bowling in the middle phase and keeping wickets down, keeping the runs down, I should say, and getting wickets.
Pooran will be very pleased with that over after an onslaught. 86 for 2.
Looking for a reason to try the $5 meal deal with new McValue? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. And the price makes 5.
So much.
Get more than you expect with the $5 meal deal with new McValue.
You're a small business owner. You don't have time to waste. That's why you go to Biz2 Credit for funding. Our simple application makes it easy to get fast financing. Time for funding?
Time for Biz2 Credit.
Well, El Clasico is one of the all-time games here between these two franchises, but it's a great way to introduce the sport to some folks who might be a bit new. And my man here, Zach, you're the ring man, basically. How'd you find Major League Cricket? Yeah, so I was just scrolling Instagram one day, and it kind of came up as an ad in my feed. I was like, wait, this kind of looks sick. I'd actually seen it a couple of years prior, back when MLC started. It kind of reminded me that this was out here, so I was like, man, I got to bring some guys and come check it out, you know? Now, you guys are all high school. You just graduated high school, is that correct? Yes, sir. All right, so a bunch of young guys getting into cricket. Now, he claims to be the expert. You claim that he was the expert.
Yeah.
How good has he been in explaining the rules?
Not gonna lie, not very good. Not very good. I was zoning out on the way here, but it's all right. Go Texas Super Kings, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so you learned that one, but you zoned out on the entire way here.
Entire way here.
All right, but you told me you were the hype man. Is that's what you guys are?
Well, I mean, we're the hype crew, you know? We gotta hype up the Texas Super Kings, you know, make them feel welcome here.
They say they whistle for Texas, and you told me you got a pretty good whistle yourself. All right, let's hear the whistle. That must have been real loud. I apologize for all you guys watching at home. My goodness. All right, so all new, and you were here rooting for the Super Kings. They're going to win it tonight? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know it. Well, there you go. New fans rooting for the Super Kings getting in on El Clasico.
Great rivalry between these two teams, that's for sure. Even Aman Patel even got him to call him sir.
That is the power of social media. I've seen it on my feed as well, and to have 6,000 fans on a Sunday evening, it speaks volumes to this rivalry. Different intensity, whether it's South Africa, the UAE, the United States of America, or India. Whenever men suit up in yellow and blue, people want to come. Just continuing that conversation from the previous over, that and captains can go a number of different ways. We saw it the other day. Harmeet Singh never bowled an over because Nicholas Pooran was batting left-hander to left-arm spinner. But Bracewell has shown us this year 9 of his 17 wickets have been right-handers, but he's been expensive, going at 10s. So Pooran, if he's brave and bats Bracewell, could go to him. But also you can understand if he doesn't and goes to other options, maybe a Pollard for 1 or 2.
Could come through for the second run. A direct hit on the stumps might have been interesting. Yeah, the one plus that they will have, yes, it's 2 right-handers at the crease, but the one plus they have is it isn't one shorter boundary, so that does help out slightly. And it can sometimes be a brave call to bring on right-on finger spinner to the right-handed batters. It was an interesting choice with the Seattle LAKRs. Not using Harmeet Singh at times, and I say that because they could have made that decision even before they actually had the toss. Maybe we shouldn't play him on the day because the number of left-handers that MI New York have, that's something that I would imagine TSK also would have taken into account today with their selection. If they've gone unchanged,
Has he taken pace off that? Yeah, taken some pace off. Stake projected scorers say 185, Faf, and many will know that several scores over 200 have been chased, 4 of them. But Faf will remember pulling leg side back in match 2 in Auckland. It was Isan Adil who dismissed him when the two teams met. Both will have that just at the back of their minds. Gets away with it. So just 5 from the over, 91 for 2.
yeah, really slowing it down towards the end of that over. 77 miles and 76 miles. So not giving much pace to work with for Faf du Plessis, and you can just see how things have changed since that power play. Texas Super Kings really took advantage of the fielding restrictions in the first 6 overs. Last 3 overs have been very, very quiet, and quiet for Faf du Plessis as well.
Slow going since the power play, and the wicket won't help. They've been quite inventive with their field setting to Stoinis. Again, Pooran has got himself an extra cover, and he's got George Linda at a catching cover, and also has Bo at long off. So it's going to force Stoinis to hit in the leg side, which he's capable of doing. First boundary in 22 deliveries. They needed that.
Yeah, boundaries were flowing easily in the power play. It's changed quite a lot since the field's been allowed to spread. Also, I think conditions just start to change as the sun sets. Yeah, it's an interesting debate selection on some players. You look at Bracewell, for example, who's going to be up against a lot of right-handed batters. But they wanted the extra option of spin, so they at least had that to turn to. You can bat as well. And we've had that chat about Harmeet Singh and coming up against MI New York not being used. And he only had the 5 options anyway. And they had a whole host of left-handed batters. Just wonder from MI New York's point of view if he will get used at all.
And with the struggles that Pooran's team has had at back end, now could be the time where you just sneak in and over, whether it's a Pollard or a Bracewell, so that you've got both for the back end, you've got one of Linda, because Adil's been expensive today, none for 21 and 2. Then you've got 21-year-old Rusha Ogarkar, who probably has to bowl one at the back end as well. So all of these things will be going through Nicholas Pooran's mind.
Something that might be going through the mind of Faf du Plessis is that game they played here against San Francisco Unicorns. At 10 overs, they were 106 for 1, so pretty similar situation. And they were 166 for 1 after 16, and then only made 198. So possible for Faf du Plessis that that's going through his mind and not wanting a repeat of that too, because those 4 overs, 32 for 4 they were. And then they ended up losing that game.
How to rebowl that. And as important as it is to have set batters there, they will know in that dugout the power they possess. We've seen Ranjane, what he's capable of. We know what Donovan Ferreira can produce. Very important for Marcus Stoinis to attack, to make use of every single delivery on this surface.
A state tournament sixes tallies up to 432 now. And Stoinis could be really dangerous. He's got plenty overs. He's coming at a stage where he's got time on his hands. It could be really dangerous against MI New York here.
A much needed, decently sized over from the Texas Super Kings. 14 from it, 105 for 2.
When my hair started to thin, I wasn't feeling so confident.
I stopped hanging out with the guys because I didn't want to hear the wisecracks.
I started taking Nutrafol because I had seen that it worked with my friend.
Nutrafol really takes the time to do the research, to do the clinical studies, and I really respect how it works from the inside out.
Nutrafol was able to bring my hair back to life, and it keeps getting thicker and fuller.
Oh! It felt real good to ditch the hat.
Start your hair growth journey at Nutrafol.com.
14 from that over. Only 24 runs between overs 7 and 10. So the 4 overs after the power play, they just went out run a ball. Remember, you never get back these deliveries. Let's talk about making up at the back end. You don't ever get them back. And here is what Nicholas Pooran is thinking. He's going to sneak one of Kyron Pollard in now, who will likely take pace off the ball and ask Stoinis and Faf to hit leg side into the wind.
Wind has picked up a little bit today compared to yesterday. So when you see Stoinis hitting this one from the previous over, he's hitting with the wind. It does help out, but he's got a lot of power anyway. And there's a nice distance. Just a little stronger than yesterday, the wind.
Faf du Plessis, 9 runs off his last 12 deliveries. And Pollard may have been... Yeah, you see that smile there? That smile there tells you he was trying to get away with one.
I don't think it even reached the keeper, so I'm not too sure what he was appealing for. Let's take a look at this. He had put mid-wicket, and he was not happy with the mid-wicket position. And he had actually made mid-wicket just stay a little straighter, so he went with the shorter delivery, trying to entice him into hitting out to mid-wicket. Yeah, no, that you're not getting away with that one, Curran.
He's brought deep point, a lot squarer with a deep long off and 3 leg side. Again goes pace off, smart. And with some pressure building now, is it now that Marcus Soinnis looks to take him on? Just judging the way that the innings has panned out so far, where they've scored at 11 runs and over in the power play, and since then 7.5. Given that it's a used pitch, we were here for 2 games yesterday, probably tells you that you've got to maximize that newer ball. And Faf will be knowing, given that he's had to bowl in the night times so often by losing the toss, they need a buffer, maybe 15-20 runs extra.
Form in Dallas, started with 100 and then 60 after that, 2 in a row, and now today he finds himself on 60 from 33s, striking at 181, but he has just slowed down just a touch in the last couple of overs after the power play. He seemed to find his range quite early on in this innings.
No attack. They're quite happy to just rotate Pollard around. I mentioned over 6,000 people coming in today to watch this game. It's our last group stage game in Dallas before we head to Florida and then come back here for the playoffs. A lot of yellow, and you'll see the blue flags sprinkled in. The same field. Only 6 from the over. Very tight. Exactly what Nicholas Pooran, the captain, would have been wishing for. 112 for 2.
Thought initially. Since then, they've managed to just quieten things down a touch. Partnership 29 from 24.
Superb scenes. Sunday night action. It's a sellout, is the news we're hearing from the tournament's organisers, and an atmosphere that is building up and up and up, inspired by the close finishes and viral moments all throughout season 3, particularly since we've come here to Texas. Actually, fans can't get enough. As George Linda is dispatched down the ground. Du Plessis haven't picked up a boundary all the way since the 5th over. He's back at it again now with a straight 6, his 7th of the night, Danny Morrison.
Yeah, he's such a talent. He's been looking after his body for some years. He's 41 years young. Next month is Faf du Plessis. And I concur with Nikhil Uttamchandani. I think they need a bit of a buffer, given the nighttime situation, and it does get a little bit easier under the lights. It's just a fact of white ball cricket. And Linda and his lines. That's what they do. And spinners, I'll tell you this, they need to bring those stumps into play. Look for LBWs and bowls.
Going to repeat the dose down the ground. 6 more. He's dealing in maximums tonight, isn't he? His 8th.
Well, he's into the 70s now as the captain. Certainly found his range with his feet too. He's got to the pitch, and that's the secret to playing against spinners, particularly on a surface that's now got a little slower and a little drier.
Doesn't like a 4 against Linda, does he? He clears the ropes. Semi-final nights of the Texas leg in the group stages. We'll head down to Florida tomorrow for the first time in MLC history. How much have you enjoyed it all? It's been chaotic, isn't it? Final over finish almost every single game, it feels like.
Oh, I love the golf too today. We'll have a VIP section. And Pommy Mbunga was saying wonderful moves. The DJ was outstanding. Oh, the tunes. Yeah, the cricket's been great, no doubt, Lenny. I'm looking forward to getting to Florida as well, but look at this crowd. Super Sunday.
Yeah, lots of the cricketers going up and enjoying that. We met a few of the Freedom Boys up there. I'll tell you something, the DJ here at Grand Prairie, definitely rivaling things. He's getting some great tunes going. It's so good to see the whole place packed to the rafters. There he is, getting the mixes ready. Fans young and old.
Again, it's that yellow and blue thing, isn't it? Super Kings versus an MI franchise.
He's had to wait his time to get into the team. George Linda will finish his spell. Has got 2 wickets, but he's gone for 42. It's 127 for 2.
With new McRae at McDonald's, you'll get more than you expect. All day, every day. Like a buy one and add one for $1 deal at everyone's favorite pit stop. Or when you gotta see the playoffs, get meal deals for the tailgate. When you've got a few minutes before the bell to save on breakfast, get deals in the app. The choice is yours, and the choice with McValue is always more. Get more than you expect with new McValue at McDonald's.
Good building blocks here outside of the power play. They'll want to now maybe start to just shift gear a touch. Good partnership, 44 off 30, which is a very nice platform. But Isan Adil might be one that Stoinis and Duplessis may look to target. His longevity, just remarkable, isn't it, Faf du Plessis?
Yeah, there's a few of them going around. Leaders and projections. State projector. There we are. Well, they do well in terms of getting well over 200, but it does rely on these two gentlemen. Very experienced, Stoinis and Duplessis. Can Duplessis kick on and get 100? And can Stoinis move through the gears and get 50 himself? I'd like to see it. I'd love to see the entertainment between these two very gifted right-handers.
And on those projected scores over 200, very much in the likely area again. We saw last night, maybe not in quite as dramatic a fashion, Rutherford getting it done once more with a player of the match performance as the York is chased down at 202 the Night Riders made. Here's our Remitly leading wicket takers. Noor Ahmed, will see him under the floodlights later. We'll also see Akil Hussain. I just wondered, may they pack their team with spin and go Mohammed Mohsen as well, but he's missed out.
Yeah, Remitly leading wicket takers. I think the spinners may just come into their own a little bit more once we go a little bit deeper into this season. I also wonder about the surface at Lauderhill. Just wonder about it. I've always gone on about the drainage there being a little bit of an issue, and then, of course, the weather, that could impact too. And this time of the year, a bit like the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, it was very wet, wasn't it?
Really looking forward to this, heading to Broward County. Beautiful stadium there in the city of Lauderhill, just outside Fort Lauderdale, north of Miami. And we've got 6 game days, 3 single headers, then followed by a really packed weekend and action on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 double headers. Stoinis will feel as though he's missed out there. That probably was there to be put away.
Just checking out Pollard. He's only had the one. Does he come back? Because Adele here, this is his 3rd. So got some variety, Nicholas Poran. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 bowlers used. There's varieties of chopping and changing your bowling arsenal. Keep the batters thinking and working things through. Stoinis only picking up a single there. So, we've got 2 to go, 1 to go now. We've only had 4 singles. Pressure building on Adele.
Just as I talked about them needing to go through the gears, they've kind of done the opposite. 15 200-plus scores already this season. Frankly, ludicrous quality of batting at points, ball striking and batsmanship of the highest quality, allied with fantastic playing surfaces that we've been blessed with in Oakland and here in Grand Prairie. I think they'll be good down in Florida too, Danny. That's an excellent over. Credit to Sanadil. It's taken the pace off nicely. Just the 5 singles have come from it. It will take us to the 2nd strategic timeout with the score at 132 for 2.
Major League Cricket, live and exclusive on Willow, in association with Prem Jyotish. Consult Prem Jyotish for accurate predictions and a happier life. Biz2Credit. Scan the code or visit biz2credit.com to apply. And Deep Foods. Deep Foods khao to jano.
Agree with you regarding Mukamala too. That's basically the 4th time he's got really well set, got in and then got out. 3 scores in the 30s, Alaba with that 25 off 18. But the innings has mainly been about Fat Duplessis. For the bowlers, George Linda has bowled out, got his 2 wickets. I think Ugarkar has been very good, and clever captaincy from Nicholas Poran getting that 6th bowler in to give him a bit of flexibility.
It's interesting now about Bolt. He's still got a couple up his sleeve. Lexus team standings. Yeah, it's important for the Super Kings. They like to win this and they qualify, don't they?
Come on, Danny, we'll put you on the spot quickly. Who's going to be the top 2 and who will be the other 2 qualifiers?
Well, I think the Unicorns and Freedom.
Oh, come on.
Way out front, out there, qualifier. Well, you did ask about the top 2. And then the next 2. Yeah, I think the Super Kings, they'd be disappointed they don't end up there. And the Orcas, well, just finding their teeth, as it were. But don't write off the boys in blue just yet.
You just read out the top 4 in the table. What are you doing to me?
New York might come good. I reckon they might. Just might.
I do think one thing to consider, just going back to this Lexus points table for one more second, Danny, is that because of that superior net run rate that the Texas Super Kings have, if they can get level with the Freedom, they'll very likely edge that second spot in terms of 2 chances to get to the grand final. Big difference between finishing first and second or third. If you finish third, it's the same as fourth. You've got to win every game from there. So Super Kings, if they can win tonight, they'll be right in the mix and hunting down not just the Freedom but the Unicorns too.
I'd like to see the Orcas get that other puzzle, would you?
Well, I think it'd be a great story, wouldn't it? I heard Aman Patel talking about the miracle and, you know, just the story. It could make a nice film one day, couldn't it? Losing 10 on the bounce, sacking everyone and then coming back to win it all.
Matthew Mott, that's right. He got asked to leave in a way. And the captain stepping down.
Help towards long on and wide of him. Good stroke by Faf du Plessis. Manufactured that. McGarker has been effective from the other end. He has a change of ends to the racecourse end. And du Plessis says it's time to go now.
Just watch the bottom hand here. Extraordinary wrist work. And he places it where he wants to. It's wide of a long on. Quite comfortably. Beautifully executed from Faf du Plessis. Partnership, man, it's over 50 now, courtesy of that boundary.
Doesn't have a huge amount of pace, the young man, just 1 day shy of his 22nd birthday. He'll be 22 tomorrow. Born in St. Louis in Missouri. But he does have a bit of a knack, doesn't he, of just putting off the batter's rhythm.
Oh, to be 22 again. Just shaping it out a little bit at pace. Our producer at the back of the box has said, oh, to be 32 or 42 again, for that matter.
You've got the energy of a 22-year-old, Danny. Has this clever knack, doesn't he, of almost just keeping the ball underneath the bat, out of the hitting arc.
Yeah, you look at bowlers that the captains can use, and they do like to bowl at the stage in those middle overs, and the ball's got a little bit softer, so sometimes bowlers will tell you that to grip it that much easier for them. And yeah, it's impressive, this young fella.
Muscled into the leg side, doesn't quite get to the gap as Poran and Pollard combine beautifully to keep it to a couple.
Yeah, lots of discussion there, all that experience from Pollard, just discussing things with Nicky P. Is he hiding it there because they want to go cross seam? What's he going to do with this? So just a little split finger and across the seam. Sometimes they just kiss the leather face rather than the stitching seam, and it might just skid and keep a little low. Other times it might kick off the stitching, stand up a little bit more.
Given as a wide, could he put on a yard of pace? I was down with him interviewing him before the game. He's not particularly tall. He's probably in and around your height. How do you kind of get that extra bit of pace if you're looking for it?
Yeah, a lot of hard work and that belief. Let's have a look at this first. I suppose so. It's tight. And standing high and leaping. Yeah, it's a lot of work to do, and that timing in your run-up and through the crease here. Oh, hello. That's to moose this into next week. But when I look at him, what I do notice about him, then, he bowls over a brace front leg. He's Ugaka, reminds me of Agaka. So when you look at his front leg, might not see it in this one, but he really does bowl over a brace front leg, and that's where you can derive a bit of pace from.
Might just have picked up his first wicket of the night, as Trent Bolt is never going to drop that. A wry smile on his face. Good reward for a very good over for Ugarkar, who reminds Danny Morrison of Ajita Garkar.
Yeah, Stoinis, he should be miffed because he's got in and got set. 25 off 22. But kudos to the bowler. Change the pace, cross seamers. Yeah, that's easy. Trent Bolt, former Black Cap. Yeah, he's a happy camper, no doubt. Anders Stoinis, he's gone for 25 from 22. And the Super Kings, they're 140 for 3.
My relationship with fitness was not at a point where I could just jump into working out.
At Body, we know what it's like to be a beginner. So here's a simple way to take the first step and every step on your journey to healthy. The Total Solution Bundle. Proven body fitness and eating plans you do right at home, plus Shakeology all-in-one nutrition shake to help you lose weight. It's everything you need to get fast results step by step. Save 60% when you go to body.com today. That's body with an I.com.
Here comes the power hitting of the South African, Donovan Ferreira. There's a big impact in several games this season. Player of the match performance, actually. Getting the nod over Shubman Ranjani. As Fat du Plessis goes to 300 runs in this year's Cognizant MLC in some style. That has come right out of the screws of the bats.
Sea of yellow flags here at Grand Prairie, and rightly so. Texas are in the house. Pollard. It's a little drag down. He hasn't got the length right at all. Way too easy for du Plessis, who's almost gone into the 90s with this big strike.
Du Plessis now into the 90s with that single. Really deserved this wicket, didn't he, young Agarkar? An early birthday present for him, 22 tomorrow. Big moment for the young man.
He's got a lot of these, hasn't he? Cross seamers. Another subtle change of pace. The Cognizant clutch catch from Trent Bolt in the deep. Yeah, comfortable and down his throat. Good on you, Trent. You love a Nepal jersey, don't you, Lenny?
Yeah, big Nepalese community here in and around Texas. Wide of the crease. Worked into the offside, though. A little bit off the toe end of the bat, potentially. Ferreira will take it, though. Gets good reward for his positivity.
And Ferreira says, I'm going to Kathmandu because you really, really want me to. And he just slices it beautifully behind. Divine, yeah, once it gets through that 30-yard circle with a good bit of pace on it, hit it straight into the deck. So often those won't go, or if it goes close to a fielder, he can get across and stop it. But the placement was perfect from Ferreira.
Looking for the second over out of Pollard, just to try and continue to have that flexibility at the death is Nicholas Pooran. Great scene here. Definitely reminds me of that T20 World Cup last year, and we saw this place packed to the rafters at points too. And remember, the playoffs will be back here. All 4 of those matches, I'd expect, will be sellouts too. Big question, can MI New York feature in those playoffs? Super Kings are almost there. Win tonight will put them right into the mix.
Ferreira is just getting ready here, wants to make sure he's set, got his guard right. Pollard. So again, used his cheek. Oh, naughty. Is that Bracewell? Michael, with those big mitts. He's not stopped this, and that will infuriate Kyron Pollard.
Look at the quality of the strike here, Danny. It's no more than a punch, is it, off the back foot, but good enough to get to the rope. QDK not too happy. Yeah, there's the big man, Kyron Pollard. What's going on out there?
Do not sit next to KP in the dressing room later.
Yeah, 43 off 21 in the player of the match performance against LAKR. Pereira's immediately into his work. Duplessis getting that support at the far end that he wanted. Good over, 16 from it, 156 for 3.
Yeah, nicely poised. You think about going at 2 a ball or so, they're going to get over 200. They'll want that, given that MI and New York are going to be able to know what they're chasing. They really do want to get in and get a bit of a buffer. Into the 90s now, Fuff.
We see some absolutely massive sixes from Faf, and it might be a bit late for our man Mahi, but you took the screamer back in the 4th over, one-handed. How have you done that, mate?
So here in Texas, we play cricket regularly, and my usual fielding position is at long on, and that's how I'll be taking those screamers. Yep.
So just normal day in the office. I see you got the yellow on. Name is Mahi. Got to be room for the Super Kings, though, yeah?
No, I'm supporting for MI New York.
So why you got the whistle up? All right, let's see the flag. He's got MI New York, but he's taking catches from Faf Duplessis. So New York going to win, or is Faf going to take it away?
No, we are going to win.
He's saying he's confident, and he took the catch, so I trust him.
Yep.
Another one-hander. Tell you, the fans have come seriously this year. They've come on business, as the youngsters say. And Ferreira is standing on business at the moment. He's got to be, because we've seen 5 totals of over 200 been chased in this Dallas leg. Anything is possible from here, Bango.
Yes, old man, anything is possible. They've got to make sure that from this position they maximize. Oh, goodness. 200 plus 15. Yeah, I'll just say it's testament to how good the pitches are. It's been tough work here in Texas for the bowlers. Once batters get some sort of a start, then they can absolutely cash in. And the stake projected scores, yeah, 115s actually.
Yeah, the focus for Trent Bolt, bowling over the wicket to the 2 right-handers, will be make them hit into the offside. He's got his deep cover there, he's got his deep long off, and if he wants, with the occasional change-up, he can go wide Yorker, or he can go pace off and into the pitch. Just too high.
Yeah, slight nuance as well in terms of which deliveries. You have them as skills, but just like evidence of how high that was. Fair enough, I guess it's marginal. It can go either way. Yeah, you have them as deliveries you can turn to with the skills you have, but bowling them to the right batter.
He squeezes it through some way, somehow. Both fielders were in the circle, he finds the gap.
Yeah, happiness for those in yellow, not so much for those in blue. They're looking for the ball to be outside that hitting arc, but he's able to reach it. And that's fortuitous if ever there was luck.
Well executed. They'll come back for 2 as well. 12 from the over. Faf 97, 168 for 3.
As a business owner, I've got a lot on my plate. That's why I use ZipRecruiter to hire. ZipRecruiter has this feature called Zip Intro. I chose the time, and it did all of the work of finding and scheduling the candidates for me. I just picked my top choices and talked to great people the very next day. The plan was to hire 2 people, but the candidate quality was so good, I wound up hiring 4 in a week.
Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Try it free only at ZipRecruiter.com/Willow.
The Royal leading run scores, top of the list. And look at the strike rates as well. Faf 180, Finn Allen and Owen over 200. Matt Short in 4 innings is also on the list. They've got some power.
All those players have been very good. It's not coincidence that all of them open the batting. And bat up at the front, utilize the power play, and on occasion have been able to carry on from there.
These next 17 deliveries, folks, with what we've seen transpire at this ground, although it's a used surface, conditions change drastically as the sun sets, whether the dew comes in or not, as last night showed us. So they will be constantly trying to get close to 200 and more. And there's a deep point and long off. The other 3 are on the leg side into the wind. Another delivery that squeezed past the inner circle on the offside. Ferreira scored a few boundaries there.
Yeah, boundary. It's gone for 4. If you're the bowler, you must ask yourself, is that where you wanted to bowl it? And he wouldn't be criticized too much for bowling it out there. He wants him to try and get in the middle of his bat, and he'll go to the sweeper, offside or long off. That it comes off the bottom and goes for 4, well, nothing you can do about that. Rather than outcomes, let's look at what your plans are and whether you've executed.
And then the change of length does not work for Isan Adil. One of the smaller boundaries. Ferreira will not miss out.
It's a tough job that he must do. Donovan Ferreira come in and provide the flourish at the back end. And a good boundary hitter, a powerful batter. Able to just get inside the line of that and ensure that he evades the fielder who is at long leg. As it happens, that goes all the way. Partnership of 38 from 16. And Ferreira is 22 from 10.
One for the over was signal, so he cannot use his bouncer anymore in the over. Coming back for 2, good running.
Had to push it then. Hustling for sure to get back. Test of his speed. Look at him go straight away. He knows. And Duplessis feels, well, I can get back because he's got further to throw it. We're well aware of the fact that he's going to the danger end. Full tilt.
Misses his length, does Isan Adil. And Ferreira misses his execution. Gets away with it though. Lucky because there were 2 fielders square deep on the leg side.
doesn't get this away either. Perhaps looking for it on the pitch and then surprised by the fact that it's a full toss. First ball of the over, Faf du Plessis walked across to him, and I think it was about him trying to whack it as hard as he can. He generally is one of those that bludgeons it. But even here, looking here like he's trying to hit it too hard.
He waited on that one, and Pooran waits as well. To no success. So a maximum to end 20 from the 18th. 188 for 3.
Probably the best contact off the over for Donovan Ferreira. Yes, he's forcing it leg side. Picked the slower ball and had to slow down that swing of the bat. And that's good contact against the wind. Fielder there, able to clear all of that for 6.
Trying to go pace off and short. Ferreira waited. You were just speaking about him trying to hit the ball too hard. He waited on that one.
It kind of helped him that it was a slower ball and he picked it and kind of set himself for it. There's the bowler. Perhaps you'll feel didn't get it high enough or something, but that's the ball he was trying to bowl. Use that wind, use that boundary. Didn't quite come off.
Again, Yorker. And as Faf moves to 98, given the field dimensions and the wind, Faf may be thinking ball is going to bowl wide. But he's mixed it up well. He's gone wide sometimes and gone straight Yorker at other times.
It's what I was on about with regard to, you call it for batters, shot selection. But it's skill selection as the bowler and what you have as your field, who you have as the batter. The necessity not to be predictable, but in your varying it, you can't miss. He's very lucky there that he doesn't disappear, because that would be hitting with the wind for Ferreira. It's kind of just an easy flick. Again, probably born out of the fact that he's sitting there thinking you're going to go wide, and so isn't ready for the straight one and didn't expect he'd go 2 in a row.
He played his first T20 in 2007. 18 years later at 40, he's still exceeding expectation and still scoring centuries in yellow. The first man to ever score multiple hundreds at age 40. Faf du Plessis, you are something else.
The captain leading from the front. Beautiful shot. Power and placement. And up goes the fist. Job not done, but much appreciated already.
He will know job definitely not done. Still 8 deliveries left.
Yeah, happy for the milestone, happy for the personal achievement, and accepts the applause. And he keeps racking up the numbers year after year after year, and tournament after tournament. And very effective up at the top of the order, using all of his experience.
There's the straight line again. And it maybe tells us, Pom, I'm just looking at the trees and some flags. It's not blowing as powerfully as it did at the start of the innings. Maybe tells us that the wind has died down and MINY are happy to use both sides of the field. And as you said, go to the bowler's skills.
Actually, in talking to du Plessis early in our time here, he was on about how these conditions do change and the wind does die down, and when you bat, if you bat first, you have that wind to contend with.
196 for 3. Only 9 from that over. Correction, 8.
It's a good over.
You'll never miss a Desi moment with Desi Natural. Big or small. It's deliciously Desi, authentically Desi, always Desi. Find us at a store near you.
On it, you might look and go, hold on, there's an over there that goes for just 8. And it might, in the final analysis, make a difference. We love the art. We really do. These pictures are courtesy of camera folk who work particularly hard. At the start, they were about to chat about the game coming in, and I love the little kids going, "Get me on camera!" And many people end up on camera here at this festival. Really, it is a fantastic fate of the game.
Rushil LAKR to bowl the final. Pressure. That's what it will be bowling to Donovan Ferreira because of hits like that.
There's where he doesn't necessarily try to hit it hard if you're in the slot. He just has to swing his bat. And that's all he's done there. An MTT Data 6. That's gone 282 feet. Went a long way up in the air. No reaction from Quinton de Kock. But the TSK fans, very happy with that. Yeah, first ball of the over, the final over. And how often we've seen things go this way where there is an over that shifts things. That have felt they've done decent work, MI New York, to this point, and it is now about closing out, but they've gone to a youngster who's missed first ball.
Adjusts his length, but same result. Ferreira has finished the innings forcefully in the Cognizant MLC 2025.
He's a magnificent striker. He's just about got the measure of it. Pace of the surface, and so now able to make good connections. Unbelievable strike rate. 264. And is on to 45. Round the wicket now for Ugaka.
He tried to go straight. And sometimes you see bowlers going around and going wide. They can also go heel. But this is a valuable knock from Ferreira. There were 140 folks after 15 overs.
Lucky. He was so lucky. I know it's wide, he has to bowl it again, but that was going all the way for 6 as well. In the end, he's probably tried to whack it too hard. Could have just helped it on its way. Yeah, flourish for sure as they finish here. The Super Kings. Tough to hang in on good pitches. It's very tough because your margin for error is so very slight.
Yeah, Pooran and Pollard just had a consultation, and now Pooran is walking to Ugakar. They're bringing up the deep backward square and pushing the deep point back. So it's going to be 3 fielders deep on the offside now and just 2 on the leg side. And 2 men leg side are in front of square, so the field suggests wide. This is serious pressure. It'll be a great lesson. 21 years old, bowling to Donovan Ferreira and Faf du Plessis. These next 4 balls could be the difference between 215, 220, or 235.
Field often tells you where he's trying to go. With everybody up behind, it means he's full.
And came back over the wicket, going wide. Can he go wide from around? possible. We'll get back to that. What a knock.
Yeah, excellent. The use of the feet early on and making sure to use the power play, and then just a little dip as he assessed how he ought to go, constructing this stake century beautifully off Duplessis.
3 sixes at 40. What a life this man has lived. He's still got a lot more. He's not close to finishing.
You know what you sound like? I'll tell you what. You sound like, 10-year-olds or, 12-year-olds when they see guys who are 18 years old and they think, oh, he's such a big old man.
Yeah, again trying to go wide and again has to re-bowl it. Tom, I just can't believe it. 40 years on Earth, planet Earth, in itself is an achievement. But to do it and score 8 T20s, still be scoring them, this guy is crazy.
Oh, you're a funny fella. Sixes. What's good here and what he's done is go down the ground, and you think about him facing spin, using his feet, trying to get to it and generating some momentum. Pitch that's slow and dry.
Now this is interesting because he stepped across Pereira, but it's just still too wide. And Vijay Mallela says he has to re-bowl it.
Yeah, marginal, I think. You get bowling umpires and you get batting umpires, don't you? The batting ones give no mercy. See, he's gone a long way across there. I don't know, I reckon that's all right. I'm happy with that. Okay, that's not.
And I suppose, obviously, this is going wrong for Ugakar. Can he palm with Pereira taking steps across early? Can he go heel?
Yeah, all you can ever do is turn to the things that you have done and practiced. So I would suggest that it might not be a tactic that he's used or something that is practiced. Let's remember, he's a very young guy. Just 21 years old, so developing his skills and trying to work out exactly what he might use were he to be put under pressure. And here he's trying to bowl wide of off stump. He's trying to ensure that he's full and wide so that Donovan Pereira can hit into that offside where there are 3 sweepers, and also doesn't have as much power perhaps.
He tries again. Pereira. What power from the Super King. Joint second fastest MLC half century.
Yep. He can whack them. 3 4s and 5 6s. And he'd have been waiting and expectant this time around with the ball having been too wide from Ugaka. The 3 deliveries, 4 deliveries before. What a 50, what a finish, what a flourish at the back end of this Super Kings innings. It's a role particularly difficult to play, because to come in cold and try and whack boundaries, not so easy at the best of times. And many a time it can go wrong. It's gone swimmingly tonight.
Yes. 18 balls equaling Hetmeyer. He changes his leg. Kyron Pollard is under it. He must have lost it. He was also looking at Bracewell, who was at mid-wicket. But the fact that it's not gone for a boundary will be a minor win.
Totally lost it in the lights. They ran round. I think Bracewell essentially was leaving it to him. In fact, he probably would have been going to him to say, I'm here to help you if you need, if you're kind of getting too close to the fence. And in the end, it just bounces 5 yards away.
This time the plan works. Wide of the stumps, he sticks to it and is rewarded.
Mariah smiles all round for MI New York. But it's nicely done by Ugaka. Goes wide, happy to try and go wide, and that's the idea. Get outside the hitting arc, have him trying to fetch it so that he doesn't make the best contact. Tajinder completes the catch. Nice to see a smile on Ugaka's face. What a knock, though, by Donovan Ferreira. Power personified. 53 from just 20. The Super Kings 2-2-1 for 4.
Savage has not timed it or got enough power on it to go even past the infield, so they'll complete 2 and it will be 83 off the last 5. A much needed final over with 27 coming from it. They get to 223 for 4, which we have seen been chased here before. It was these Super Kings against the Freedom.
Yeah, Faf Duplessis. Oh, there you go. Go, Captain Faf. And very good. Congratulations from his opposition. Nice to see. He's played well. He started really well. Out the blocks quickly. Then a reassessment, which took a few deliveries. And just kind of wondered if he had lost his timing and his rhythm. But picked it up again and got past the century. 103 from 53. Good work from Mukamala and from Stoinis as well. But what about that for a flourish from Donovan Ferreira? 53 from 20. Absolutely outstanding.
2 wickets for Linda, 2 for Urshil Ugakar. No one else in the wickets. Let's go down to Aman Patel.
Here with George, Linda, you weren't in the team just a couple of days ago, but now you came into the team, you opened the bowling. What was that like?
Yeah, it's always awesome playing for MI. So yeah, it was lovely to be able to get a game. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way we wanted, but obviously the score has been chased down before on this ground, so hopefully we can do it.
Yeah, you mentioned the score on the board. We've seen plenty of 200 scores chased. What's the key on this wicket tonight?
I just think you got to give yourself a chance. You can see the way Faf played. He gave himself a good chance and he capitalized on that.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much. Good luck at second innings.
Thank you.
224 to get for MI New York. It's been chased here before. The conditions changed so drastically in the evening. It's game on. It's the derby, the rivalry. After the break.
Performing at the highest level requires focusing on the details. The Lexus RX is designed to put on a performance.
reassured you?
Yeah.
The Lexus RX.
Revenue cycle management can be one of the biggest challenges facing healthcare organizations today. With constantly changing regulations, complex billing processes, no wonder that managing the revenue cycle can be overwhelming. That's where Access Healthcare comes in. Maximize your revenue and streamline your operations by utilizing predictive analytics, AI, and automation workflows. Let us transform your revenue cycle. Contact Access Healthcare today.
I've had some great seats here in Major League Cricket, but this one might be the very best. And it's thanks to one of our sponsors, Lexus. They brought in the Lexus RX 500 Hybrid, and it's an absolute beaut. I mean, even the color, the name itself, Incognito, bit of stealth. I know, Danny Morrison, you'll love that over there as well. But I'll bring you around. Maybe the coolest part of the car, just from a visual component, it's this orange brake component right there. Brilliant to see that on the tire. But that back seat, that was an incredible place to sit. But let me bring you to the front of the car. I might have a new favorite spot. Listen, I'm going to open it up. Oh, it's already on. Keys in. All right, let's hop in. Yeah, this is great. Perfect view of the cricket. Right in the front seat. Nice and comfortable. Very spacious. You guys, get into Grand Prairie. You might get a sit right here. Maybe grab one of the final 3 seats as well.
Well, we have had the best seat in the house to witness a fantastic innings from Faf du Plessis for Texas Super Kings. He was absolutely brilliant. First of all, an early wicket for the debutant George Linder. But Faf du Plessis has found some incredible form at this ground this year. A couple of hundreds to his name, Danny Morrison, and he seemed to find his range early on.
Yeah, he had a good sighter, didn't he, in those first couple of overs, and was very sensible about things. And then once Linder stayed on, he bullied him beautifully. I mean, up and over, and shots all around the clock. Think about Nkamula. He did well too. Some lovely striking until he got out for 25. He got 25 of 18, 3 fours, and then got out. And then Faf just carried on with his merry way. He found an ally for a little while in Marcus Stoinis, and he got 25 like Mukamula. And Stoinis sixing a single, and then boom. And let's get on with it. Jonathan Ferreira. Man, what a cameo and a half. 53 from 20 balls, 3 fours, and 5 maximums for a strike rate of 265. Man, he just kept climbing into it. And poor Ugaka, well, I don't think I've seen a T20 game at this level. 5 wides in a row. Tough on the confidence for a young fellow who's 22 tomorrow. And just seeing Pollard losing it in the lights here at Grand Prairie. They are a little on the lower side. But he got his man in the end, Ugaka. A well-batted Donovan Ferreira, simply sensational.
Absolutely. Much needed, that 53 from Donovan Ferreira. Look at his strike rate. Just what was required to finish off that innings and get them up to 223. A very competitive total. A couple of wickets for Linder on debut in MLC. His first game for MI New York. 2 for 42 he finished with. And Agarka, 2 for 47 in his 4 overs. But everybody going over 10s to the over. Well, let's find out a little bit more about the King of the Desert.
So Nostos means King of the Desert. I was born in Alabama, and my parents were here for 3-4 years in the 90s. It comes from a Navajo language. When I was in India, it was a lot of hard work explaining to everybody what it was, but here you kind of just roll with it. Everybody knows Navajo, so it's easy. until 2-3 years ago, a lot of my American friends would say, what is that you play? What is that you see guys just running around in the bushes, just high-fiving each other all day long? But I think it's changed now. They kind of realize what cricket is. They see the energy, the passion that we play with, and they make a lot of analogies with baseball as well. So it's easier for them to understand once they know baseball. And I think all these Americans, all of them are very competitive, and they have it in their blood to see something. They love sports, and they love an underdog sport. So when USA does well, they want to support the US cricket team. So that's kind of changed in the last 3-4 years. And I think a lot of credit goes to MLC, because all of us who played in the MLC, we took our confidence from here into the World Cup, and that allowed us to do well in the World Cup. I think the World Cup was an inflection point at that point. This was a year ago, and beating top teams and then going through to the Super 6 just changed the trajectory curve for us.
What's in the future for North Coastal cricket?
I don't like to think too far ahead. I think I'm somebody who likes to live in the present, because if you asked me 5 years ago, I would have said I would have loved to be part of MLC. So I'm here now, so I think it's just about training hard, just giving it my best every day, and then enjoying what the journey has to offer.
MLC's been a big part of his journey, and he's been a big part of the MLC journey as well. MI New York, 224 is what they need to register, just their second win this season.
Major League Cricket, live and exclusive on Willow, in association with Prem Jyotish. Consult Prem Jyotish for accurate predictions and a happier life. Biz2Credit. Scan the code or visit biz2credit.com to apply. And Deep Foods. Deep Foods khao to jano. India Tour of England, live and exclusive on Willow. Presented by DCU, digitally powered, member driven, in association with Prem Jyotish. Consult Prem Jyotish for accurate predictions and a happier life. And PolicyBazaar.com. Highlights on Willow.
Well, many have dubbed it the El Clasico. It's Texas Super Kings taking on MI New York, live from the Grand Prairie Stadium in Texas. It is a fixture that has brought the crowd out here to Grand Prairie, and this is somebody who's been pulling crowds for many a year. T20 100, number 8, a state century from Faf du Plessis, 103 or 53 deliveries, following on from the 150 that he made the other day. And he was also very well supported by Donovan Ferreira, which made a difference. This is something he's done well at this ground. He's used that wind very, very well. Very often the sixes that he hit were straight towards us, straight down the ground, yes, but straight towards us and with the wind as well. And he's used that very nicely tonight, Faf du Plessis, but also making sure he kept it ticking over with 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s. Danny Morrison alongside. Not too surprising, Danny, that he is on the top of our Royal leading run scorers.
turning out to be Mr. Consistent, isn't he? In Cognizant MLC for season 3. So first time that Finn Allen has slipped back off the top of the table. Jonathan Ferreira. Oh, it's the ease and grace and then some timing thrown in. Outstanding. So certainly clubs the ball a long way down the ground, and both these two very, very effective in that wide V. Either long on, straight, or long off, you name it, they've been doing it. So out from the get-go, look at it, 11.2s is challenging.
Yeah, challenging. For a side who's been good with the bat, though. MINY have had a good season with the bat. However, against Texas Super Kings in San Francisco, they couldn't chase that 186. It was a very, very tight game, that. Now, this is interesting, Danny Morrison. Quinton de Kock is walking out. Nicholas Puran is walking out to open the batting. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, he's done it in the Caribbean Premier League quite a bit, different stages through his career, and often Ian Bishop and myself have discussed this on air at length. I think it's that sort of posse where he realises I've got to get inside the power play, and the best way to do that is at the start, opening the innings. Two left-handers, both go for it. Quinton de Kock, renowned for it. And if both these two can get going, then there'll be a lot of fireworks going off and spent here at Grand Prairie. But he's such a talent. And a lot of us have labelled him the best T20 player in recent times because he is so difficult to bowl to. When he gets in and everything's going his way and he just bullies everyone, he is such a difficult guy to bowl to when he's in that vein of form.
It's the 10th time in his career that he's opened the batting in T20s. So, not necessarily something he's done a lot, but he has done it before and recently as well. Last year, Quinton de Kock to face up first, so something a little different from MI New York. She did it once last year in the 100 when he played there, and as you mentioned, a couple of times he has done it in the CPL. That was back in 2022 when he had the opportunity to open the batting. Just a few years back as well, 2017, 2016, had the opportunities to open the batting, quite a bit of it, as you mentioned, in the CPL. So, interesting little change-up for MI New York.
Yeah, I think they've got to be proactive. He's captain after all, and you would have discussed that with Mark Boucher. 100 in that shading, but he's on the losing side. So, frustrating again. And then a score of 33, but little else. So he needs to get in here with Q to K and carve up the Texas Super Kings inside the first 6 overs.
Radon not right at all there for Zia-ul-Haq. It was a very strong leg side.
Zia, my friend, do not bowl into that hip of Quinton de Kock. He's lucky he's just paddled it, and you know, just sort of trying to get the gauge of the pitch, and he just got it sort of off the top of the blade. Seeing those go sailing into the crowd about 15 rows back when he catches up with them, particularly when it's a left armour versus Q to K.
We know the value of Nicholas Puran. He showed us the other night. Yes, he might not have come into this tournament with a lot of form and started a little on the slow side, but this was pretty special.
Once again, like Fuff, he likes this ground. So, in a way, this pretty much is the HQ of cricket here in the US of A. The surface has been laid and there's time to settle for a bit. So it's probably the best pitch going around. And that is a loving.
In some way, it's an interesting risk to take with Nicholas Pooran. It's not that he can't bat in the power play, but Texas Super Kings have been very good in the power play this season. They've picked up 14 wickets in the power play this season, best by any team. And their economy rate inside the power play this season, 7.55. It's just brilliant. The next best is 8.88. And that's the Seattle Hawkers with economy rate in the power play. Just moved away from the left-hander. 6 without loss.
Act the positive energy to achieve good health, happiness, success, and prosperity. When planetary movements are in your favor, you are unstoppable in achieving your dreams. Listen to your destiny and open the door to prosperity. Call me today for an amazing tomorrow.
There you can see how good the Texas Super Kings have been in the power play. 14 wickets, and that economy rate is head and shoulders above the rest in the power play. It's an interesting risk with Nicholas Pooran up front. Then you have to ask the question, where will Monik Patel bat? He has batted at 3 once before this season, in fact twice before this season at the beginning when they first started off season 3. So doing this thing the other night was so good. Pace of Berger. Just a little look at the umpire.
Well, he needs to be on song here, does Berger, because he's up against Pooran. And this is the one thing that Pooran loves. He loves pace on. He's gone seam up, and he would have felt he should have connected there, Nicky P. But of course, he's only just got out there. It was only a second delivery, for goodness sake. So he needs to get the feel of things. Slippers in, I applaud that. Donovan Ferreira is it a wide first slip.
Using the pace. That's good from Pooran. Straight he goes. He's away.
Well, like most keepers, and he's certainly got a mate at the other end, Quinton de Kock. And they've got such fast hands through the ball, pace on, and it will go the distance. And yeah, a bit to think about. Andre Berger, got to be on top of your game against these two left-handed strike makers.
Yeah, that's the other thing. No left-hand, right-hand combination. Don't have that natural variation in your opening pair, which so many teams love to have, that left-handed, right-handed combination. So we have the two left-handers for now. So he asked the question, where would Monik Patel possibly bat? As I have been informed, Monik Patel's been really good against spinners this season. He's been striking at almost 200 against the spinners, so if he comes in a bit later, that could work well for them. Nicholas Pooran on to 6 in the innings, but 1,000 runs for him in T20s this year. We've had a lovely time in Dallas, that is for sure. It's been hot, but we've really enjoyed being here. It's always a great place to come back to. It's been a staple of Cognizant MLC. Nightlife, lots to do. We've had the opportunity to go around and see some of the sites and some of the historical landmarks as well. We will be back, but first we move on. That has gone high. It'll take some catching. Keeper wants it. Keeper doesn't get it. Eventually, Ziel Haq pulled out and said, you take it.
Smith Patel was never, ever going to get a hand on this. That's ended up just down in front of our commentary position. This is like Halley's Comet. It's gone so far up. I thought for a moment we might have a clash. Never laid a glove on it. That night sky To those of you sitting at home, I promise you, with a black ceiling, a dark ceiling, the night sky, and a white ball that goes up with artificial lighting that high, good luck.
It'll be 8 off the second over. It's 14 without loss.
Sort of chuckle about it, but so many of those go down. You get those freak catches where you might have a really good fielder and at the last split second you might get a little dive out and it sticks, but a lot of the time, I'm talking probably a good 80-odd%, those never go to hand.
Is on the board. 2 overs are gone, and they've got a big total in front of them that they are chasing. 224. Not really timing it, did he? Now, we talk about taking these high catches, Danny. We've seen some good ones, and we saw a really good one yesterday as well from Kyle Mills. This is in the daylight, the blue sky. So, movement, a little bit of juggle, he eventually gets it.
See, you put those down too, right? Third time lucky. 1, 2, 3. And he had the fortune that it was in the daytime rather than the night sky. I promise you. And the sun goes down, and you've got a dark ceiling, as we say in the trade. It's gone absolute miles up. Smith Patel says, get out of my way, I've got the gloves on. It does not lay a glove on it. Oof. Bit of ice on that ball.
He's hit that very hard. I hope Ziel Haq is okay, because he has absolutely smashed that straight back at him.
Yeah, these are injuries, aren't they? And a follow through for a quick bowler. There's a bit of a thumb breaker, these. Cock gets in his area. Oh, yeah. Into the fingertips or the thumb. That could be season over. Yeah. Al did well to get something on it there.
He was never going to miss out on an opportunity to be able to take the ball to the leg side. That is his favourite area.
Listen to this crack off the bat of Q to K. Such a sweet sound. This is gone. See, one get hit to the moon straight up, and this one, oh, I reckon it's more than 285. Sure. That's marvellous. Clean as and disappears.
Moving early was Quinton de Kock there. He took a couple of steps forward before the ball had even been released. So on the attack, coming at Ziel Haq. I'm sure this must have been a discussion in the batting group for MI New York. TSK is very good in the power play. They've been excellent this season. They're taking wickets. They don't give runs away. So you've got to find a way then to combat that. Quinton de Kock, that time around, advancing and coming towards the bowler. Again, looking to advance. Doesn't quite get the timing that he did prior to this one, but he'll get 4. That's 12 from the over, 26 without loss.
When my hair started thinning, I didn't want to hear the wisecracks.
I was ignoring my hair because I was a full-time working mother, but luckily I found Nutrafol.
My hair was getting stronger and thicker.
And I finally feel like myself
it's off again.
Some distance check, come on. It's gonna be better than that. I need you here. Not getting them out, we're going to keep these runs down.
Two overs from Ziolha, and we will have a second over from Burger as well. His first over went great. A double teapot at the moment for Buck because I don't think he's impressed with that previous over. Execution is important. Again, another skyer. This time around, Donovan Ferreira makes no mistake. Puran opens the batting, but he's gone in the fourth over.
Yeah, he was taking a punt here. A lot of top order players, particularly opening batters, will want to carve you. Very first ball of a new over, and this is banged in. Pace and bounce. Look at it. He's beaten a bit for it because he's tried to fetch it from outside off and drag it. Comfortable in the end for Ferreira, and boy, don't they know that's a big, big scalp. It's the captain of MI New York. Takes the applause and the salute as Berger. Pouring out for a cheap one. He's gone for 8 off 7. And New York, 26 for 1.
It's the time for the batsman and the groundsman. It's the time for the many flavors of cricket. And the many, many, many flavors it brings out in you. Royal, for the many flavors of you.
A change in the order today for MI New York has meant that Monan Patel's back at number 3. He started the season there. Now he is back there in the fourth over. So having Puran open the batting did not work today. Andre Berger has started this over with a wicket. His pace has been up, as you expect from him. Out and out pace. Probably stick with that. Oh, that'll be annoying. Nur Ahmed lets that through.
Some of the fielding is left a little bit to be desired. We've seen a few drop catches. Some of them quite easy, and the fielding, yeah, a little shabby this. Given that you've just got rid of Puran, you've got to get down and get something on that and stop it. Even if it was a deflection and went for 1, way better than 4. So this comes down to the last ball finish, and they get over the line just. Think about that moment there.
A remotely speedy delivery from Andre Berger, 87 miles per hour. He's got the pace up, and one of the things that worked in his favour here was the pace. He really rushed Nicholas Puran. No control in the shot. Puran chose to go for a similar shot that had him in trouble just a couple of overs back. That was dropped. This time it goes to hand. Pace of Berger's causing problems for a few batters at the moment.
Yeah, give it a rub, QDK. It's countryman Berger. Ripping one into the thigh there. And they just missed the thigh pad. Let's have a look at this. Seamer will just come back off the seam. Yeah, it's the back leg. Smashing into your hip. Physios come out. Maybe just a cold spray. Take a moment. Sometimes hitching the hip bone, if that's the case. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, ouch. More than likely have a bruise on his hip. He's not happy. Shake of the head. Right. Right-hander on strike. So Well, they do at least have a left-handed, right-handed combination.
We're going at just over 8.5. And asking, it's amazing how it just keeps climbing. Quiet overs, even though you want to pump a few early on. I know it's only the fourth over. To lose a wicket this early, you really are starting to think, got to rebuild. And yet the power play, this is the fourth over, keeps on running away.
Quinton de Kock knew they needed some runs. And he's used the pace of Burgert, 39 for 1.
Yeah, one of his go-tos for Quinton de Kock. Really well watched, actually. Kept it a little bit down. Didn't bounce as much, but it's not that short either. It has to be said. Man, it's a good shot. 6 more.
Action aplenty already in the chase. And when New York have it all to do, the problem hasn't really been with their batting this season, it's been with their bowling. And Quinton de Kock, just after getting a nasty blow, unleashes one. A mammoth NTT Data 6, 83 metres, 272 feet. And Faf du Plessis will turn to spin for the first time in the defence of this chase. Akil Hussain. Do now have the right hand, left hand combination together. Let's get down to Nikhil Uttamjandani.
We've got the pleasure of having Stephen Fleming with us on a big night for the MLC with MINY New York and Texas Super Kings playing against each other. Coach, thanks a lot for your time.
Pleasure.
I want to know, 5 IPL titles, playoffs every year in this tournament. What has been your blueprint to consistency?
It's not actually that easy to answer. I guess it's having good players, having good leadership. And we saw a lot of that tonight with Faf and over this tournament. And I think there's an element of consistency with a lot of the selections. We've tried to keep players over a number of years and tournaments and grow some continuity. It's served us pretty well. You've got to keep reinventing, and we had a bit of a challenge in the IPL this year, but predominantly get a good core group of players and then look after them.
Well, you'll be a very happy man, Coach, because Akil Hussain has taken a wicket. We're going to let them talk over it and we'll come back to you.
Big wickets. Madank Patel caught and bowled the leading edge, and the move to spin, it works, and it's a very happy coach down pitch side.
Normally you'll see him come into the attack right at the start. They sent Pooran and they asked du Plessis to make a change. He did, but all the same, Hussain, who is a fantastic operator, comes in and first up, he takes effect. Takes a wicket, that of Madank Patel, who's been going well in the season. MI New York 2 down now for 39.
Second wicket in the Lexus power play. Head coach will be very happy. Just on the game, did Nicholas Pooran opening maybe catch you guys by surprise?
No, we actually prepared for it. I think there's sort of been whispers about it, so we were ready for it. With Akil Hussain bowling as well, we had to make a couple of changes, but he's a big wicket to get at any stage, but to get him early is a big part of this game.
You were talking a bit about having to reinvent the wheel a bit. With the way T20 format has evolved, Coach, how do you think you've had to evolve as a coach and with your various teams throughout the world?
It's always changing, but the IPL with the impact player rule is quite different. It's quite unique. And that's allowed players to be more carefree, and some of the skill sets and some of the power we're seeing with the batters, young batters coming through is eye-watering. So just keep up with that and try and get a few of those yourself, and not get too distracted in power, but other competitions are different where wickets still matter. So it's a bit of an anomaly, the IPL, so that takes a little bit of nursing through, and back to normal in these types of tournaments.
Your captain, Faf du Plessis, another 100 tonight. He's 40 years old. Before we get to him, tell me about the relationship you two share.
Yeah, it's strong over a number of years, and way back to when we first sort of bought him with CSK, he had to bide his time, and now it's just a key part of as many sort of CSK, TSK, JSK sides we can get. But he's still going strong. He's such a professional. It's brilliant.
Yeah, 39 for 2 at the end of 5.
My relationship with fitness was not at a point where I could just jump into working out.
At Body, we know what it's like to be a beginner. So here's a simple way to take the first step and every step on your journey to healthy. The Total Solution Bundle. Proven body fitness and eating plans you do right at home, plus Shakeology all-in-one nutrition shake to help you lose weight. It's everything you need to get fast results step by step. Save 60% when you go to body.com today. That's body with an I.com.
But there's a good balance to what he does. He's got some other business interests, a beautiful family, and he's just got the balance right.
And Coach, in terms of the environment that you and him are striving to create, let us into some of the challenges with guys flying in and out of leagues, arriving a day before a game starts. How do you maintain an environment?
Well, it changes each tournament, really. You've got to sort of weigh up what players you've got at the time, how much coaching they need. For the second or third year in, it's a little bit less, but going back to the first year here, it was a lot of team building, a lot of communication, a lot of getting to know people quickly. And that's the hardest thing, is trying to get a deeper understanding of players and how they tick rather than just their skill sets. And time really inhibits that. So working hard on that and just creating an environment where people feel a bit of belonging, which is good.
Your domestic players, the importance of your success being based on them over the past 2 seasons?
It's been very big. So one, identifying them, relying on people to identify talent, be wary who's qualifying and who's around, and then nurturing that talent. We've brought players over to South Africa. We've looked at bringing them to India so that we get, again, some continuity in their development and give them some confidence, because they're very good players.
And that multi-league and multi-tournament approach where you administer the Indian Premier League, the SA20 in here, is that just the few weeks of the league, or is it something that goes on throughout the year?
Well, that's a good question. It goes on a lot. So constantly looking at players, looking to secure players, which can become hard with the international schedules that are around, and also some of the franchises bundling players up. So once you get good talent, you get very protective, and it's trying to get that talent and then hold on to them. But there's a bit of money around that you have to pay also, so it's a nice challenge.
Speaking of protective, I see your manager over your left shoulder, making sure that you don't spend too long with us. Last one on today. In that batting innings, what were you thinking was a good target you wanted to get to, and did it change maybe as Faf went through the innings?
Oh, well, it's crucial that he went through. I think it's a bit slower than the rest, and so it should be. There's been a lot of heat and a lot of traffic on it. If you get someone who goes through, you can often push further than you need to. And I think today might have been that, with him getting right through the innings, allowed us to hit from the other end. And there's times it was difficult, it was a bit slower when they bowled into the wicket, so hopefully that continues for us.
How are you going to get him to win a toss?
I don't know if we need to. We batted every time, it's going okay, but it's a bit of fun within the team. But he's responding well with the bat.
Coach, thank you so very much for your time, and great to see you yet again for another season.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, marvellous to hear the thoughts of, well, a playing and coaching legend, Stephen Fleming of New Zealand. Well, in the time we heard from him there on air, a complete lull in the scoring. A streak of 10 dots was only broken by a wicket that was part of a wicket maiden from Akhil Hussain, and then a single now from Quinton de Kock. And Tajinder Singh, who played the innings of his life in his last knock, that 95 off 35, is going to need to do something special. A lot of pressure on MI New York. And he's going to get a bit of fortune to get off the mark with a boundary. Edge just wide of the grasps of Ferreira at slip. It's 44 for 2.
It's the time for the batsman and the groundsman. It's the time for the many flavors of cricket and the many, many, many flavors flavors it brings out in you. Royal, for the many flavors of you. You're a visionary. You inspire us to chase a higher standard, because the greatest measure of an automobile is how it makes you feel.
Trial by spin going to continue now, coming out of the Lexus power play. They're already well behind where the Super Kings were at the end of the first 6. Remember that late acceleration too from the home side. Clever piece of bowling, wasn't it, to get Manik Patel just a little bit of grip off the surface.
It's a good bowler, Akil Hussain. On a slow pitch, any time batters might just close the face a little early. And with that line dead straight, there's every chance of that leading edge. He's a very good operator. Yeah. Stephen Fleming just saying they were ready for Pooran to come out and had a plan B. Weren't going to say, right, you have a duel, because it was important to stall Pooran and Quinton de Kock and not just go with plan A. And that's paid off, and essentially what has happened is, you know, on another day Pooran gets away, and then you might have to come to this anyway and say, right, work your magic. You've bowled against lefties before, and you've got to, despite it being a matchup, you've got to try and take him down. What's happened is they've not scored many, and Hussain comes in to bowl now. And might well be the tougher one to face because of this slow surface and because of his high quality.
Here's a look at the best of this Lexus power play. Smith Patel, haired back, and never even got a hand on that one. And de Kock found a bit of form. One particularly big maximum into the leg side, but Nicholas Pooran promotes himself up the order, and it didn't work.
Yeah, Akil Hussain plays everywhere. Yeah, this is how he contributes to that Lexus power play with a wicket. Starts at the wicket maiden, and suddenly that game's pulled well back. They had gone well anyway in that power play, and that the rate is going towards 14 means that it is Texas Super Kings who are in charge of this, despite feeling that they were at a disadvantage batting first.
I think what Stephen Fleming said, though, about doesn't really need to win a toss, because it might have been a very good toss to lose tonight. Pitches that we've used here, there's only been the 2 of them that we've rotated between. So after a heavy patch of 12 games here across 10 days, I think it might end up playing towards their benefit. That required run rate continues to grow, well over 13s. That'll help drag it back down, though. The maximum burst through the fans' hands there. 7 ball, 54 for 2.
Yeah, it just drags it down. Looking to bowl with his back of a length. Ensure that it's not slow and doesn't let Quinton de Kock just go at it. As it turns out, you missed by just a little bit, and Quinton de Kock, who's in fine touch, will punish you.
Signs that Faf du Plessis definitely believes pace-off is the way to go on this used surface. Thought there might have been a chance for him to go with 3 frontline spinners, get Mohamed Mohsin into the attack, into the 11 tonight even, as that's the 6. It was just helped around the corner, the wrong line from Akil Hussain. But Pereira gives enough all-round skills to be able to offer a 3rd spin bowling option.
Who are you dropping then?
Nicely picked up. Tajinder Singh. So good in that last innings. He hit a lot and a lot of those.
Around the wicket, but it's tossed up. And that's an invitation. All right hand is off spinner. Will certainly go at that. Nicely into the arc and dispatched. You'll wonder why he didn't go with a bit more pace on it and flatter the first time round.
Yeah, 8 sixes the other evening. The acceleration was the most remarkable aspect of that innings, wasn't it? 9 off 10. All of a sudden, almost in the blink of an eye, became 95 off 35.
And tonight needs to go right from the outset. Make sure that he's going at a decent pace. And it's the score and the scoreboard that dictates all of it. Can't afford to fall too far behind.
They really hadn't shown a huge amount in Major League. Had done so much through minor league, part of that graduation. Playing for the Chicago Kingsmen, had a great year last year. 395 runs in 9 innings there. But this knock was out of this world. And the acceleration and the quality was remarkable to watch. Bit of exhibitionism too.
Yeah, they did play well. And not just him, but he was the acceleration required. And kind of clicked everybody else on. That it got away. Yeah, something all of them would have been scratching their heads about when they got back into the change room.
Just remarkable it came in a losing effort. The 97 off 40 from Hetmar slightly outdid Tajinder Singh's efforts. Didn't take away from the quality of his knock though. 8 have been bowled at 64 for 2.
With new McValue at McDonald's, you'll get more than you expect. All day, every day. Like a buy one and add one for $1 deal at everyone's favorite pit stop. Or when you gotta see the playoffs, get meal deals for the tailgate. And when you've got a few minutes before the bell to save on breakfast, get deals in the app. The choice is yours, and the choice with McValue is always more. Get more than you expect with new McValue at McDonald's.
All to play for here in Cognizant MLC in the final game at Grand Prairie before we return for the playoffs. Both these teams still with chances to make it. Super Kings get a chance to qualify today. Gil Hussain has made their chances much greater. Cry of catch. And taken in the end. Gil Hussain, he's spinning a web around MI New York. And the whistles are going, flags are waving, and this crowd has so much to cheer about. Final time they'll see their team at home before we get to the playoffs. And the men in yellow want to send it out with a bang, with a win. Brilliantly done for Marcus Stoinis in the end. And a little bit of stirring the pot. A chef is cooking here. That's Akil Hussain. Quinn Ducat goes for just 35. New York 64 for 3. And Wayne Knights will signal that strategic timeout.
There are 6,000 people at the Grand Prairie Stadium tonight, folks. So we have to let you in at home on what's going on. We're in the
celebrate differently. But the passion we share for our cricket teams is the same. Together we cheer for those we love. And the only team we support more fiercely is family, wherever they live. Send money back home to your loved ones with Remitly. Download the app today.
An important message for Americans ages 50 to 85.
That's how it ended. I remember that.
You talked her into it.
I did. Now we all have life insurance. Well, I had no choice. She really didn't, because I told her that if she didn't get it, we were going to put you in charge of her funeral. And I know how you hate to spend money.
I bought life insurance, didn't I?
It costs pennies a day.
And that's just one reason I like Colonial Penn.
What's another?
Unlike my sisters, they don't ask about my health.
That's right. Colonial Penn doesn't ask a single medical question. And there's no physical exam. If you're over 50, you can't be turned down for guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance, no matter what your health. You can apply in minutes just by filling out a simple form. Options start at $9.95 a month, 35 cents a day. And the good news is, your rate will never change. A built-in rate lock guarantees it.
But finally, something we can all agree on.
I have to hand it to Colonial Penn.
Yeah, it works for all of us. Those with health issues and those who watch their money.
Colonial Penn makes getting life insurance easy, even if you have pre-existing conditions or a fixed income. Call for more information and the simple form you need to apply today. There's no obligation, and you'll receive a free beneficiary planner. Record your important information and final wishes in this handy guide. It puts everything your family will need in one place.
Call 1-800-908-3131 for your free information and your free beneficiary planner. That's 1-800-908-3131.
Andy Morrison, Akil Hussain has been almost unplayable tonight.
Well, this will be fascinating, this. A couple of Trinis going at each other. Yeah, off the straight. Great. I mentioned the nature of the surface being a little more tired, a little drier because of the cricket that's been played on it. And so watch out for this fellow, Akil Hussain, with his flight. Yeah, and a little bit of deception. So wily and so good. The control and the flight and the arm ball that comes back in, Oman, just comes and curves back in. He's in his element here with Pollard being a right-hander and only just out there, so he's got to get settled, get started, and see if he can start bashing, because they almost need 14 and over.
We heard about not having two on the ground. How important is that for a finger spinner when he has the ball in his hand?
Yeah, massive. Dew on the ball in the outfield, yeah, very annoying for spinners. Well, any bowler really, but particularly someone like Akil. Does give it a good grip, bit of flight. Does manage to make the ball spin. This is what Pollard does. He wants sort of jeering in there. Wants the wicket in the very first ball of the over, then the power play, and now we've had 4 dots on the trot. Here's the last ball. Well, let's see if Polly pats out a wicket maiden here, or just wants to bunt it and get the strike and keep the strike for the next over.
This looks very close. Looks very close. Finger stays down, and surely they'll go upstairs. Yeah, Faf has signaled it.
TV umpire to director. We have a close review for LBW. Original decision is not out. I've checked the feet and it's a fair delivery. So we start with spin vision, please. Can I have all trades, please? just check where the ball went from the bat? To show me where the ball went. It wasn't taken by anybody. Can you show me an angle of that? You got me, Jay? Thank you. Okay, straight to ground. Back to Wayne on field. Wayne, you can stay with your decision. Signal now.
Well done, wicket Wayne. Knights. He's off the mark, Pollard. It's the end of the ninth, and New York are 65 for 3 here.
Long enough to get a bit of bat on it, and you might have brought up a point also with the replay. Might have pitched outside leg.
Yeah, I think so. When you see that, and it's always beautiful, isn't it? Hindsight with the replay and everything. But kudos to Wayne Knights. The umpire said no. And whether he thought he hit it or not, he found it pitched outside. Oh, my goodness. There's that guy again. Ricochet into the side, and it's 4. Oh, we're too many Irish guys in the box anyway.
That's the face. That's the face exactly, Donovan Ferreira. The power of Kyron Pollard smashed it in to the stump and then just goes all the way like a tracer bullet.
Well, Noor Ahmed, he's lucky it didn't come back at his shins. He would have never got anything on it. Oh, it's a little full to play that. So the confidence riding high for those in yellow. It's a very tricky position here. For New York. Tough position here in this chase.
He's placed it nicely and well enough. Pollard to pick up another boundary.
Now, we've just seen that guile from Akil Hussain. And the mystery spinner's on. Yeah, I'm with my colleagues. Just needs to bowl a bit slower. Take a little bit out of it and back yourself. Get runs on the board. Nor can afford to give it a little bit of flight and slow it down. There we go. Not bad. Just back yourself in terms of what you're so good at, Noor Ahmed. And pressure on, and it'll keep mounting. The asking's now 14.5. Kirike. No timing, and a good dive forward from Stoinis. That may look easy, but when it dips like that, because you're hard again to judge in that night sky, takes a useful catch. Good one, you expect him to, sure. They've got to be taken. We've seen the easy those put down. All the screamers taken.
Oh, incredible. Faf du Plessis has been brilliant in the field all season, and he's leading from the front.
That catch he took at Oakland Coliseum was right up there, given the nature how cold that breeze was in San Francisco. And once again to the fore, and the skill set in the field as well.
Dot ball to close. A good over for my New York. 10 runs from it. 75 for 3.
Technology offers the knowledge of equanimity and a harmonious way of living. Embrace the positive energy the universe ensures for you. Always trust that you deserve a fulfilling and a joyous life. Call me today and get to know the path of success waiting for you.
You're a small business owner. You don't have time to waste. That's why you go to Biz2 Credit for funding. Our simple application makes it easy to get fast financing. Time for funding? It's time for Biz2 Credit.
And it was Donovan Ferreira's resurgence in the back of the innings that propelled Texas to that total. Who's going to play that role for New York? You see the required. Is it Tajinder Singh? Is it Kyron Pollard? You have to do it against Akil Hussain. Tajinder wants to go. Tries to go. But he's gone straight down the throat of Donovan Ferreira.
Akil Hussain strikes again.
Well, Tajinder's no good standing there in the middle of the piss, Chief. He's caught it. You're out of here. That's OUT. See you later. Beautiful. Yeah, slower. Look at that. The flight had to come. Again, first ball of a new over. Batters love to come at you. And well done. Reverse cut from Donovan Ferreira. Celebration City here in Dallas. That happens to be Grand Prairie. Tajinder has gone for 15.